Hey everyone, welcome back to the SP5 experience. We're going to get started here on probably what's going to be the most popular tweak to the SP5 is the change to the rear sight diopter from the castle sight. The castle sight is known in the HK world as being the standard sight for the HK MP5K. Again, this is a pistol variant, so it would be normal that it would come with a pistol style rear sight drum. So a lot of folks are going to want to change it out to the diopter sight drum, and we're going to talk about that here in just a second. Before we get started on the swap, let's just talk about the rear sight. When you go to the range and you're going to zero your gun, just remember the direction you move the rear sight is the direction you're going to move your point of impact. So raising the rear sight will raise your point of impact. Lowering the drum or rear sight will lower your point of impact. Moving the rear sight to the left will shift your point of impact to the left. Moving your rear sight to the right will move your point of impact to the right. This rear sight drum moves 360 degrees. One complete 360 degree revolution of the rear sight drum, up or down, will shift the point of impact 2 inches up or down, depending which way you're moving it. So again, one complete 360 degree revolution will change your point of impact approximately 2 inches at 25 yards. Same thing on your windage screw. One complete 360 degree revolution will move your point of impact 2 inches at 25 yards, right or left, depending which way you're moving your sight. Okay, so one little trick we use in the field with roller lock HKs when we're zeroing them is a little thing called LLC, low left clockwise. So when you turn your drum clockwise or you move your windage screw clockwise, you are lowering the drum or you are moving the drum left. So clockwise moves it left and low, LLC, low, left, clockwise. All right, little tricks, you might want to write those down, and we're going to dive right in to swapping this out. Stay tuned. Okay, before we get started on changing the castle sight and putting the diopter rear drum on, let's talk about what you're going to want to have close to you. Close to you, you're going to want to have your sight tool that comes standard with your SP5. You're going to want that very close by. Not everybody's going to have these, but I highly recommend having a little pair of hemostats or something similar that you could use, because I'm going to show you, although there's a few ways to do this, I'm going to show you the way most people are going to do it that could involve your little detents going boing like we talked about earlier, and if you're not real how do I want to say this, coordinated and holding everything right, or maybe having 4 hands, the way I'm going to show you is the way most people are going to probably do it. So you want a pair of hemostats or something similar if you have them. Some tweezers won't work, so just be aware. I'm going to show you the way most people are going to do this. So have that stuff close by, and always have your replacement drum close by when you're getting ready to do this. You don't want to be searching for it and scrambling. Okay, here we go. I have scrubbed in, I've washed up, my hands are germ-free, and very important, at HK we recommend blue gloves. We don't recommend clear gloves, black gloves, anything. We recommend blue gloves. So if you have anything but blue, you better head on down to the drugstore. Okay, step number 1. Let's talk about orientation. Doesn't really matter so much, but I like to have one of the little detents up here and the other one down here, because then when I'm standing behind it, in case something happens and this thing shoots, it's going to kind of shoot down and into me. This one's protected by the metal right here from the rear sight. So we're going to need to engage those 2 detents with our tool, and you can see it's just a matter of fitting it in there. Okay, so let's start by that. Your tool to get started is going to look like this. The screw driver is going to be in the tool, and you're going to put this on the little detent holes, and then you're going to release it. Now that's going to be captive because those little claws are holding the detents right there. So now to engage them and push those detents in, that's where we're going to push the screwdriver down on the tool, And then, yes, just like the old plumbing skills, we are going to rotate our castle drum left, counterclockwise, lefty-loosey, counterclockwise, and we are going to spin it up and off of the actual threads that it's on. Now, while I'm doing that, which I'll demonstrate here in just a second, I'm going to kind of, as it's getting closer, I'm going to be trying to keep my thumb down here just because if there's one of the detents that's going to shoot out, it's going to be the one down here, okay? So let's get started. And let's engage the detents by pushing down. And once we've done that, this is going to be really loose. And I don't know if you can see real good, but I've pushed down, and this hood is going to move very freely. There's no pressure on it, okay? So now I'm just turning it left. Left, 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 left. Now it's getting close to being off. So now I'm going to start paying attention, and I'm going to keep my thumb down there. Okay, we're very close. Here we go. Okay, it's off. So now, there's lots of ways to do it, but I'm going to show you the way most people. I'm going to lift this up just so you can see it. I'm going to keep my finger down here by that detent, and I'm going to pull the tool up and off. Now, nothing went boing. This one detent was already captive. This one I had protected by my hand, so everything's right there. Castle sight is off. Okay? So we can put that to the side, and we can get our drum out. So again, here are your detents that I've showed you in the prior videos. You want to just go ahead and be sure that the outer edges are all flush and lined up. Then you can take your new drum and start to thread it on. And what I like to do here is thread it down at this point, thread it down to where it kind of meets up flush with the little detents, and you'll feel the pressure. In other words, it gets tight where it starts to come down onto those little detents, okay? Now, and you can't see it, I'll show you like this. When it comes down to the little detents, it's flush on the little detent right there as far as it goes. What you want to do is line the channel up in the drum with the detent because you're going to need to get your tool back in there, okay? So even if you get it all the way down where it won't turn clockwise any further, okay? So in this case, it won't turn clockwise any further. At that point, you may need to back it off to line it up like so, where now my channels are lined up with my detent, okay? All right, let's get ready to take this baby home. This is where your hemostat is going to come in very handy, because what you're going to want to do is line it up in here to pinch those little detents in, and then once that little pressure is relieved, those detents are in, you're just going to hand screw this down to capture those detents, and because then you can let it go and the detents will be held in place, and you can go ahead and finish the job with your tool. So let me show you how to do that. All right, with our hemostat, we're going to dive right in. Be easier like this, I think, to show you. With our hemostat, we're going to dive right in, capture the detent, pull them in, and start to turn clockwise. And now it's captive to where I can finish the job off with my tool. Okay, I've got my handy-dandy tool set. My detents are held in place, and now all I've got to do is, just like I did at the beginning, is get the sight drum lined up, obviously, to where I can capture the detents. Put this in just like I did to start. Okay. Let go. Push in to pinch those detents in, and now, correct, we're going to screw it, that's right, clockwise makes it go low. We're going to screw this down clockwise. And you can screw it, I'm going to screw it all the way down just to show you where it won't go any further. I'm going to screw it all the way down, won't go any further. Now what I'm going to do is back it off about 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 revolutions or so. And then that's where I'll just leave it to get started for the zeroing process. Once I've got it where I want it, it's all set and on. And now you can see that it moves, and you want to check it so that you have spring pressure like I'm doing right there. You want to feel the pressure and hear it click into place for each notch. Okay, so there you have it, folks. There is the rear sight drum replacement from the Castle sight that's a HK pistol standard to the drum sight that's your standard sight for an MP5, HK94, or the rifle sight. Big difference in your shooting experience. You're going to want to go this sight, and we can talk more about this sight later if you have questions, but it's as easy as that. Hope this helps you enjoy your SP5 more. From all of us at HK, thank you for your time. Thank you for your purchase of the SP5, and we'll see you on the range.